Friends tell each other how they feel with relative frequency. Siblings wait for a more convenient time, like their deathbeds. Unknown. Welcome back to Should You Watch This? We are
probably Oscar Wilde.
We are concluding our breakdown of The Endless from 2017.
There is something bigger than us out here.
We have many traditions here at Camp Arcadia. None more prominent than the struggle. We have the struggle with passion.
In your own words, what is it?
Struggle with growth.
I don't have answers. None of us do.
How is that possible?
Struggle with the higher power.
You want to know what it is that runs all this? You go find it.
What is it?
It makes perfect sense.
No, I got it.
If you let it have you, it'll snatch you right out of your shoes.
I want to go back.
That place is not what you think it is.
She lied to you.
We couldn't be happier.
I saw some of things last night.
There's something out here, isn't there?
Happier.
Yeah, there is.
Happier. 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 Happier.
Woo. Who's next?
We're next, apparently.
Yeah.
Should we,
Where to begin?
Let me get through. I have 2 trivia points.
Okay.
Small
Then
trivia.
the rest is going to be beefs.
And then beefs. I think it's just going to be a conglomerate of beefs, puzzles, and then we'll end with redemption in our rating.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Here is popcorn trivia.
Let me tell you something, Pandeo.
We talked about this last week a little bit about how these are budget indie filmmakers. And so I thought it was interesting. You brought it up while we were watching it, Cole, the use of the song House of the Rising Sun, because
By the Animals.
The lyrics are in public domain. I didn't know that, which helped them stay within their limited budget.
That's why there's so many like Southern country people that sing it and put it on their album.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
You have to pay. You don't have to pay the cover license.
An easy free cover, like what they do for Christmas songs.
Yeah. This was also really cool, I think. The directing team of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead first met as interns at Ridley Scott's commercial production company.
Oh, really?
One was starting the job, and then the other one was leaving the job, and that's how they met. I wonder if that's how they met that gal that's in the film.
The one who went to work on Covenant, Alien Covenant. Maybe.
Ali Hernandez.
Or maybe that's how they were able to, she got
they met
introduced to Ridley Scott.
They met like
maybe
before she was in Alien. So I mean, it could be.
Or maybe she was working with like commercials at the production company, and that's how they knew her. Possibly. I mean, you just see it, man. Just networking, man. LinkedIn, get on there. Start hustling.
Freaking LinkedIn's the worst app of all time.
It's pretty bad.
It still says I work for Megaplex like 2 years later.
Well, you have to update it.
Yeah, it's not.
What are you talking about?
No.
Okay. He's saying he hasn't updated it.
I mean, I don't care about using it.
As opposed to, I thought it was like,
no, all my info's wrong.
Those lazy guys.
They're not updating my history.
It's like Yelp. I want it to update.
Well, let's just dive into beefs and puzzles at the same time. Okay, it's called Peefs.
Okay,
you might want to rephrase that.
I know. I love it.
You gotta work on that.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
And
I have exercise.
oh wait, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong soundbite.
Asphincter says.
There we go. One time we played all 3 of these together in the same time.
It's happened a couple of times. It's funny when you do it.
All right. I have many beefs.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay.
Certainly felt like you did, even at the time.
Let's start with number 1.
This is a big beef with movies in general. Okay,
just the very nature of motion picture.
Not like all movies.
See, here he is going to complete zero rather than like
no.
5.
Not like all movies. I'm saying the last like
decade,
8 years.
Okay,
7 to 8 years. Maybe, I don't know if it's because I'm an old man. I'm not that old, but like, why is everyone mumbling all the time?
Oh yeah, mumblecore stuff. Yeah,
I can't hear.
It used to be bigger.
It's because it's indie. Like you could tell there was times when the microphone needed to be positioned.
Yeah, it's a way of like trying to set yourself apart by like having naturalistic dialogue. Yeah,
I know, but I see it in big productions. Low budget productions.
You do now. Yeah,
and it used to bother me that everyone, you guys love watching stuff with subtitles.
Yeah,
tons of my buddies do, and I hate it so much. But in this film, I was like, I can't. And it's not because you guys were talking.
We weren't.
No, I can understand.
I see what you're saying.
You guys were, but I can't. It was just like
there was one conversation they had around towards the end that it was hard. Like you could tell the microphone was like back here when they were recording.
Yeah, they may not have done ADR. Who knows?
Fire.
But I'm sure a lot of it was just trying to like improvise dialogue between the two of them and make it seem more, because they're supposed to be brothers.
Yeah, it's make it seem more,
That's a big beef.
More naturally flowing.
Like, can I understand? Number one, this is a hard movie to figure out.
That's fair.
Me.
Yeah.
And you're mumbling the entire
There's not too many instances of like explanation.
A lot of exposition.
So when it does happen, not missing things is not great.
Well, and that's my other beef. It's like, we're thrown into this story, these two brothers, and we know, okay, that they used to be in a cult. Like, I don't know, maybe it's weird because some movies I love it when I don't know all the story, but this one I wanted. Like, what happened to their mom? I know he got into a car wreck, but
I can explain all.
Yeah, that we can
really.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying it makes it easy to understand it.
I got my hands on my hips right now.
Okay. So remember where the picture frame was on the highway of the mother?
Yeah.
Where is it that their car breaks out of at the very end of the film that they have to crash through? What might they have crashed into in the beginning to cause the car to start on fire that they had to drag her mother out of there where the cult members were?
And also the thing you noticed about how well the picture had kept up. Think about it.
So they've been in a loop the whole time?
Well, I don't know.
They haven't been in a loop the whole time, but basically that's what
that area
started.
Has been in a loop the whole time.
That's the edge of like where it occurred.
So that memorial of their mom's grave
is in the loop.
In the loop.
That's why the picture was still pristine.
That's where the edge of it occurs.
Yeah.
So that's basically like they hit. She was driving, crashed into it in the middle of nowhere because you can't see them. Started the car on fire because
they were like, okay, this bothers me because they set up this 3 moon thing.
Yeah,
which
doesn't make sense.
Which is fine.
That just seems like it's a way of like telegraphing like a time.
You say how long this loop is, but then how long were these guys were raised there from children?
Yeah, that part is confusing.
How did they get out of the loop?
The loop started after they left.
Yes, because
that is a jump.
That's part of the Lovecraftian thing.
But some loops are like
no.
We saw the one guy in the tent.
They're not all the same.
His loop is like 2 seconds long.
But the loop of the camp itself.
But you can see them when they're up on the ridge. You can see the different bubbles as to how big they are.
And that's the thing is
what's occurring in each bubble.
When they left, it was because there was going to be. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's more wrinkles.
But that's the thing.
Correct.
So whatever occurred, like, didn't get bigger until after they had left.
Because that's the thing is that like not much time like overall has passed since they left because that's when the loop started.
That's why they look so young when they say they're in their 40s, but they look younger because they actually were waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, and
it occurred after they left. But that's the beauty of it.
Because the suicide did happen.
These guys knew about this phenomena.
This cult suicide did happen.
They were waiting.
The reason they left happens.
Yes,
but then it starts over.
So basically, the kids get in an accident. The mom dies because it was starting to form at the time. So they live there. They escape with enough time, but then like their arrival, their ascension, what they were waiting for occurred. That's why everyone else looks so young, is because it basically sucks them up. Yeah. Grinds them up, does whatever to
This
them,
is not clear, though.
And then time resets. Yeah, the old man talks about it.
You have to like
It's
really
so frustrating to me, man. Why is it so frustrating?
But that's
to
the
me?
thing. That's all it is.
because it's more complicated than you can really do well in a movie.
But that's
it's
the
not
beauty
like,
of it.
like a short story. It'd probably work better.
It's a cult waiting for something to happen, and the cult leader is this wormhole that's above him, that's toying with him the entire time, that won't let him leave, that just keeps resetting time and sending them messages to screw with him,
But the
to torture him.
the cult leader wasn't doing that. It's some
That's-
thing. Some
That's what he's
entity.
saying. That guy said he wasn't the leader.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, I know. It's,
They're waiting on something to happen, and it's happened, but they don't remember because time keeps resetting
Yeah.
over and over. So they wait. They finally like realize that it's going to occur, and they get sucked up, only to come back a week or a month later and have to wait all over again. So they're basically stuck in a loop in hell, waiting for their savior.
But how does one?
there.
Multiple guys are aware of their loop,
yeah, that is something that
and
I
then
think is
some
only,
of them aren't.
It's
Like,
being revealed like throughout the time because that's like all the old media they find.
Yeah, and so
that
there's-
was also confusing
Yeah,
to me.
I agree.
Who's
That's-
keeping these records and
that's
putting them in this shed?
The alien thing.
Yeah.
The
The alien thing, the
old
entity.
beard guy has probably been there for
yeah,
longer
the
than
entity,
anyone else.
the AI from
Yeah, and that's
gosh.
no. So that's the thing is its beauty because you only get.
Oh
glimpses
man,
of
I'm
what
not
it
going to
looked
go
like.
out and defend it. I'm going to say it's complicated, but it didn't
But-
bother me. It didn't bother me that it was complicated. You had to kind of just give it a leap, go with it.
But I'm okay with that sometimes. I just don't know why.
yeah,
It's
this
so
one didn't
frustrating
do
for
it
me.
for you.
because
It's
it unravels it really slowly until
It's like, I mean, again, like as I was saying earlier, I didn't like Primer, and Primer did like I felt the way you feel now about Primer.
Interesting.
So I mean, if you watched that, it'd be interesting to see what your take was because I was like, what is this? Sucks.
I mean, time in general, like movies
you
about
have to-
time, there always are flaws. You have to accept some weird thing because it's so mind bending to think about like time travel or like stuff
Yeah.
like in Interstellar.
Which is
How
it
time
seemed to be what they
passes
were
and-
mostly talking about with like time loops and
just wormholes. in general,
curved time space.
which I imagine is what the equation he was trying to figure.
But yeah, it
out.
doesn't.
Yeah, I needed a little more backstory instead of mindless talking about dumb stuff, and then better acting. There's weird dialogue and weird motions, like the guy punching the bed randomly. Like
He was just trying to scare him.
Yeah, I didn't care for any. Because that's just they were just trying to like do some naturalistic.
It was trying to be.
Hey, we're brothers.
It was trying to be
just
sibling,
kind of the
playful siblings, but they don't come off as
I
siblings
don't.
at all.
Yeah, I didn't
Not
really.
good.
I didn't really like care for it. Like none of that really mattered.
That's what I mean. Aaron's acting. The other Justin, the bald guy, was actually pretty good, but Aaron, the whole time just seemed.
I'll tell you who I liked.
Was on the verge of tears.
The actors that I liked were
The main cult guy was
the
pretty
guy
good.
with the coke addict or the drug
tweaker?
addict
With the hat.
tweaker. He was awesome.
yeah, he was good.
The guy that was his buddy that was trying to get him clean, he was really good.
Those two are in another movie these guys made, so maybe you would like that more.
Who else was really good?
The guy's
Oh,
black lady
the
was
guy
crying.
that was trying to
in the shack.
commit suicide all the time. He was awesome.
He was good too.
He was a really good actor. So I don't know, man. I don't understand all the weird like resin posts made out of like dirt or
That's just
Yeah, I mean, I am curious if like because it's hard to say like, but if you watch this multiple times, like if there's like a really like solid like
that's just how they mark
underlying
out the
thing,
areas where the bubbles are. That's,
or if
and how like some guys can navigate it,
yeah, and
figure
the
it out.
fact that there's like a time loop within, like there's time loops within the time loop. I mean, I think those are fun ideas, but like I don't think that that's the thing is like I'm curious if they themselves had like some really hard rules that they were going to stick to, but not be explicit about. And I don't know that they did. I mean,
the other beef too is like throughout the entire film, you've got people consistently telling these dill holes to get out, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna."
Well,
Absolutely. I'll stay another
that
day.
one guy is a loser on the outside, and in here at the camp, women are paying attention to him, being nice.
Oh, that's another beef. Why are there so many hot ladies in
I mean,
this
I think
weird
that's
camp?
just trying
well, but
to.
you're stuck in the same time loop. They've stayed.
I mean,
the
I
same
think
age
it's
for
just.
years.
I mean, I thought that they
well,
were trying
you can
to like.
still be ugly and not age.
I thought they were trying to represent kind of like the manipulative nature of cults.
Oh, that's
like,
that's definitely what it was with the one brother. Like trying.
yeah,
one-
like you
one
have
wants
some
to leave, the other
loser,
wants
so
to
you're
stay.
like, hey, come be with us, and you'll like have all the luck with the ladies, and you'll be even more attractive and younger. And that's what it felt like to me that
can
they were
have
doing.
booze
It kind of loses again. It seemed like it becomes less of a cult movie when like you get kind of the greater situation revealed, but.
That they're all just puppets.
Yeah, that it's just kind of like it's kind of.
That's why I like it's just crazy horror. It just gets stranger and stranger the more.
But again,
But I liked Color of Space. It was so rad.
But that was just
and weird and
yeah. But I mean, that one wasn't.
That was more
trying to be cute. I mean,
it's Lovecraftian.
Yeah, that's right. But we wasn't explaining anything other. But like the actual, there wasn't anything weird with like time and space in that one.
That was just an alien meteor that crashed.
Yeah, that was just
this is an
bizarre
alien time travel.
Yeah, but you have to accept certain things in order to get through it.
Yeah,
and this one you do, but
that
it's
one's
just
not
frustrating.
I don't think the Color Out of Space.
But that one had that one had better acting.
That's another thing. This is movies trying to be confusing. It's one of those things like what Nolan does, where he's like, I'm going to do things not explicitly and hope you figure it out, like Memento,
which is fine. But here, okay, everyone knows, the listeners know, I don't like this movie at all. Okay, and we've gone through my beefs and problems. I'm turning the time over to you guys because it seems like you liked it much more than me, and then we'll get to redemption and close up shop.
All right,
because there's nothing you guys can say.
Oh, absolutely. I don't expect to do that. No,
I am interested to see your perspective of why you liked it.
I wouldn't even argue the point that someone should like this.
Okay.
No, you could argue that they are in a loop.
You're kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
and Cole really likes it. Why do you like it so much?
Because the more like it's one of those you literally have to think about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Start piecing the clues together backwards.
It's cerebral in a way I like.
So at the beginning of the film, as what he was thinking, they might have mailed out a tape and then forgot about it and not realized
what is up with that?
But they could have been in a bubble, and it could have been the sky, the wormhole above, actually dropping a communication down just to screw with them. And this is what they go through.
They're in a longer time loop.
But that's the thing.
It was in a package. Did they send it to themselves?
But that's how it was in the bottom of the lake when they did it. It could have been just the alien dropping something in a toolbox, putting something like in a package because they find the hard drives buried in the dirt too that the people in the cabin are viewing. So there's no way to know exactly if it's dropping out of the sky or if they drop it into an object that was already available. So they could be stuck in a time loop, or it could have been a member reaching out that sent them something that they found later on, which is kind of like...
But they had their address on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, that's the thing about it. They're not explaining any of that. So like it's
just a plot device to get him to go there.
That's what I like about Annihilation. Like that's what that's why I like this movie, is that reminded me of that the most, because Annihilation doesn't really explain itself at the end either.
It's just true. That's it has a weird ending.
But that one's got like a much bigger budget and bigger stars and like better actors.
I can't believe that movie got made.
I know, it's so crazy. It's ballsy.
Going off the fame of Ex Machina, though.
Yeah.
What else before we get to redemption?
And what it reminded me of is there is a video game called Singularity. It's like a Russian island where there was time experiments, and then while you're going through it, it's the same thing. This
like
is done more. Loops? This is done. Oh yeah, there's like people in rooms trapped in time loops. They're like it's like just a burning building for like 5 seconds, like for
your
eternity.
own personal hell.
So it's
over
like
and over.
Again, like I was saying, like the ideas in this I've seen elsewhere. I just think that they're fun. And they're fun to watch, and you can play around with them.
It's scary, man.
Those are terrible. Those would be terrible fates.
They talk a little bit about it in Loki, the Marvel TV show.
Oh yeah, because that all takes place in weird time travel,
like
outside of time.
But like time loops in and of themselves are like, especially if you're aware of them, sound terrifying.
What about that in Groundhog's Day? It's fine there, isn't it? No.
Well, but there just in a Midwest.
Because that's a similar thing. He just starts killing himself.
Yeah, that movie gets dark in spots, but I love that movie.
Yes, but that's the same kind of.
Man.
But I mean, the Lovecraftian thing where there's some sort of entity that they
You're right, Cole. Like thinking about this is probably its most redeeming quality.
But it's
thinking about it.
And my complaint is that maybe it doesn't it may not be as rigid in its rules as they want you to think. Because I was just thinking, it's like, well then, because they all seem to kind of know that they're trapped, and it's like,
but
that's never explicit how they figure that out after every reset. And so it's like, but then again, maybe the whole thing's, maybe they're playing fast and loose with it. Maybe if you paid close attention, they were really attention to detail. But
something happened because the guy in the shed remembers, and all the cult members seem like they kind of remember up to a point.
And all of the data there, they have all those records.
But it's just like what you're saying, like Groundhog Day or like, Primer. basically, how do you want to spend this? Because life itself is just one day over and over and over
Yeah,
again. And
but
so
I mean,
it's the whole
again,
theme, like, do you want to spend it with people that you know, where you know what's going to happen, where you know you're going to be, you know, you'll have to kill yourself, but then you'll wake up and have another week of the same, you know, friends that you know, beer, like pasta, whatever, you have good food. Or you go out.
It's kind of what the brother kind of realizes at the end. He's like, I'd rather do this than go back to my life.
So that's the thing. It's like, how do you want to spend the same repeating day over and over? Because it's going to happen regardless. So you can do it with what you already know, or you can go out into the unknown, which is scary. And so
it'd be kind of sick. That camp was sick. You got awesome beer.
Yeah.
Well, but at the same
drugs,
time, you're just in the middle of nowhere.
Great food. You got motorbikes.
You got to blow your brains out or get fried by an alien wormhole every so often.
Because I mean, that's
archery.
Like, you don't really know what the motivation of the thing causing all of it is. They never explain it.
Well, they do allude to the fact that the girl who's
tape in the beginning, they kind of talk about how they're all waiting to be ascended, but they don't know what that
malevolent.
means.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And that's the whole point, is they don't know, they're waiting to be ascended, but they don't know that it's just time repeating.
And it certainly seemed
over
like it wanted to keep them there too. And
it was just toying with them.
Yeah, so it's hard to know.
It's kind of interesting because you mentioned when we see that image of the old timey real projector on the sheet, and then it's like an image, time loop of that of them leaving, and then all of a sudden you see something swipe not in any entity, just,
and that's what I like about it is they don't actually show it.
It seems like someone being pissed.
Then they can't really show anything because they don't have the money to do it. And if they did show it, it wouldn't matter. I mean, it's kind of a cop out to say.
Well, no,
like,
it's
perhaps
better,
it's colors that we can't detect.
Well, no, it's better because
that's right. He says
the girl's paintings that she's doing the sketch drawings that are kind of like the horror. And then you see the like silhouette in the lake when he swims up.
That's true.
Because you see something come up and then fade away, but it kind of matches what she's doing.
I dug it.
So there's like a forest that's just basically up there, which is, you know, what comes after him in the end when they actually try and leave.
I will say it's the type of movie my dad would be pissed at. So
my dad would be so confused. I'd have to explain everything.
He'd be like, "It sucks," and I'd be like, "You know what? That's valid. You cannot." I just thought, you know, has some fun ideas. It takes some
mental work,
and that's why we do this.
It gives you the pieces. You got to put them together.
We select films that you might not watch.
Someone here picks films that are, for some reason.
Cole's batting average for me is low, but that's okay. That's why I like you in this pod.
Oh, whatever.
It's the best.
But then I've hit more home runs than most of you, aside from my low batting average. The home runs are pretty good.
I don't know.
We'd
have to do a record.
Yeah, we need a
spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a spreadsheet going. That's a good idea. That would take a lot of research. I have to listen to everything and put our weird
maybe get
ratings.
Get some transcript program to go write it out.
AI.
So you can do some searches. Yeah.
Well, let's get into redemption. Is there any beefs or puzzles that you guys have before we go?
I mean, there's lots of puzzles, but
there's some.
I'm fine with them. That's kind of the thing. It's just the attitude I went into this with, I guess.
All right.
I have exorcise the demons.
All right, Cole, this is probably more for you.
But
what's you like this? I have one redemption because I want to end on a high note. What are your redemptions? And then we'll give our rating.
I just love that you had no clue from the start towards the end. I mean, it's the same plot from beginning to end, but you basically have no clue where you're going to wind up from, you know, going from A to B in the middle because it keeps taking turns. But I like it because the more you think about it afterwards, the more you can kind of piece together what's going on. It's not straightforward. It actually kind of makes you think about it. And it's something that would require like rewatching it again. Like if you liked it once or twice more to kind of fill in the little gaps and like see what you missed the first time around, if any of it makes more sense. I definitely want to watch this again.
Yeah, I think it's creative. It's inventive. They're doing a lot with not very much.
For like their film and less than $1 million.
It's definitely like, you know, it's like they're doing idea stuff, man, because they don't have the. And there are some special effects in there, and I think they're fine, but that's not the point of the movie.
Yeah,
and
that's not what's weird that's going on.
I just love the whole like it's an actual cult waiting for something to happen, but they don't realize they're stuck in like the seventh circle
because
of hell
it did happen.
It happened, but it just keeps happening.
I like what you said, Cole. Like this is the first time a cult is actually right.
They're actually correct, but it's like in the worst possible way because now they have to wait and like question themselves over and over and over.
But but that's the thing. It's like, well, then how are they getting information from the outside world?
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of weird. There's a lot of weirdness that I'm like,
So
but then again, you have to like that entity has a lot of just seemingly. There seems to be no limit to what it can do. So it's like they have that out, I suppose.
But something's up with the beard man because he even comes over and warns the brothers, like, if this isn't what you want to do, like, don't do it, because he was aware of what was going to happen or what he was going to put himself through. The guy that was in charge of all the
it's like some sort of like angry Greek god torturing Odysseus for insulting him or something.
Exactly.
That's what it seemed like.
It's interesting because some of the people who are aware that are in the cult of the loop, they want to stay, but they're also warning.
They can't leave.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing, though, is that they've essentially found heaven because they're in the middle of nowhere. They're by themselves. They've got beer and food and their families and whatnot. They don't ever age.
But we saw the tragedy of that guy. But his wife coming to look for him, and they're literally right next to each other. They can't see each other.
Gets
but that's
to see
the thing.
his kid.
Other people don't, like, they're stuck. They can't handle it. But then the original members are fine with it because they're in heaven. They just have to like die to be reborn again over and over and over again. So they're enjoying. They just enjoy.
So the cult got what they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. The cult got
but
what they
it seems
wanted.
like it may have been their fault anyway. It's hard to know. Again, complicated.
But that's the thing. There's actually like
because
makes you question it or think about it more rather than just.
Then they just disappear at the end. Is that the thing consuming them? Does it live on them?
Okay, here's the last question before we get to our rating. Did they make it out?
I think so.
I think they did.
I don't think they did.
It's hard to know because
maybe.
I think they got out because
I think they did too, because they were trying to do that whole brother thing of like, you'll only be honest with your. I didn't think any of that worked, but or was very affecting. But that wasn't, again, what I was liking about the movie anyway.
Well, but everybody else tried to escape, but the wormhole didn't really come after anybody except for them when they actually.
Well, I mean, it just looked like it was expanding outward and consuming everything in the area. But I don't know. Again,
why do some movies that have ambiguous endings feel good and work, and some of them are so frustrating?
Because it depends on the ambiguity. Like if you're given enough,
depends on what you're like trying to get out of the movie, I suppose.
It's basically your brain having enough info to make a positive or negative outcome. Whereas if you're not sure, then you get more frustrated because
it's weird.
Like, well, what the heck? Because then you feel like you're left hanging.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It just depends on how much.
I think it depends on what the movie has like done to like encourage you to like think
set the tone
outside of what they're telling you. But I don't know.
Here's my redemption.
Alrighty.
This is my last one. This is
the hot ladies at the camp.
The beer.
I think you have to watch bad movies that have terrible acting so that you can appreciate what good actors and good directors do.
Man, people are going to think that this is going to be some real dog like trash. It's not that bad. Come on.
It's not good. I'm going to give my rating. It's the burning
and
bucket of popcorn.
Man, this really made you mad.
We're just keep this in mind the next time we get a tongue lashing for wanting to know what happened in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you mean? I didn't say anything.
No, but you said we were saying that Mission Impossible 7 Part 1 is convoluted. It's kind of hard to understand.
And we got a lot of angry pushback.
Yeah, and someone here was
I got it just fine.
Exactly. And now you know how we feel about this film.
All right, you're touche. I mean, that's why we're here. We're passionate about movies. And what's your rating? I'm sorry, I didn't like it. It's not good.
I'm not going to argue that you should have.
3.5 out of 4.
Okay.
I give it some stars, so like 3 out of maybe 2.5 out of 4.
Okay. Some stars.
Yeah, some stars. It's fun. Like if you're into that, I wouldn't recommend it if you didn't like, if you weren't looking for something different, or
there's
like
just so much content out there, man.
That's kind of the argument.
It's too like
don't just. There's other things.
I think there's fun stuff in this, but it's like that this type of science fiction is done elsewhere, and maybe you'd like that more. It's again, I don't want to just.
Here's what I hope.
I thought it was fun.
I hope it seems like these guys are on a great trajectory.
That's what I mean.
hope that they can get some money.
If this is the third film with that much money,
maybe they could make something.
I'm curious to see what their 10th.
See what they do on like a blockbuster budget.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. They're on their way.
I was into them before they were cool.
Yeah. 3 out of 3.
Yeah, I'll say 3. I'll do 3 out.
3.5 out of 4.
Or 3 out of 5. You know, whatever.
No.
It's not a stellar rating, but I had fun with it. I liked its ideas. I liked the premise.
You don't feel you wasted your afternoon?
Yeah. I think someone here does.
Someone feels.
Other than
no, I did not.
Hanging with the bros.
No, I did not waste my time. I was with you.
Synchronic is the other one they've done.
If you would watch this alone, you would be probably like looking up their address, right? To write them a sternly worded letter.
I just would
some flaming bag of human excrement would find its way onto their porch with a doorbell rung, with a man running down the street at full sprint in a time loop.
I just wouldn't like it and not recommend it. Just like what I'm doing right now. So, well,
can't win them all.
I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your opinions. That's it for this week.
Where'd you get that T-shirt? A museum?
No, it's a thing. It's
all right.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Cut that out. Cut that out.
It wouldn't be a pod without you guys interrupting my outro.
I didn't do it.
But I am with you always. Look for me in the cloud at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Except for this movie, don't share that with anyone else.
No, you should. Share it with a weird sci-fi movie lover.
Okay. That's...
there is a type of movie goer who you...
If you know someone that hates Marvel, they might like this.
But yeah.
Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest by visiting patreon.com/popcorn priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. If you made it this far, please go.
It was still better than High Rise.
Yeah.
High Rise was bad.
You know what? I don't like High Rise, but I don't know. Yeah, probably.
It's better. It's better than a.
They're both terrible. I'm not going to say one's better than the other.
Here, yeah.
I don't like any of. I don't like them.
Right. Live in your truth.
As always, thanks for listening, and thanks to my reoccurring guests.
Next time I'm going to make you watch Haley Bennett swallow random things on a couch when she's all depressed.
My gosh. When you told me what the other movie we were going to watch, I was terrified.
That's what I'm doing next time.
No.
That's going to be the November pick.
Please.
For the 11-year anniversary.
Oh, no. Thanks to my reoccurring guests, I got 2 tickets to Hail Bob Cole.
Yep.
And UFT, Unidentified Flying Tailor. Remember.
Yeah.
When you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out. But always bring the popcorn.
But your tailor would know it was you. You wouldn't be unidentified. You'd just be a flying tailor. You'd be an IFT.
Oh, I mean, only I would know. So, I mean, then in that sense, UFOs aren't unidentified either to themselves.
Unless we see you being fired off into whatever.
Yeah, then I'm unidentified.
All right.
And really any plane you see, if you don't know.
Show's over.
Or a cannon.
Yeah.
Should you find yourself in a circus.